Hello and welcome to my meditation. I am so happy that I can be outside today on this first day of February. Just an unseasonably warm day here in Kansas. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you have joined me. I thank those of you who tuned in last week to see my granddaughter Lacey introduce me. Unfortunately, Lacey doesn't get to introduce me today, so you just got me. Forget about the outside sounds. So let's just settle in. Take a nice deep breath. Enjoy how nice it is to be outside today and the outdoor noises. I have some new prayer flags behind me. I don't know if you can see them in the video or not. All right. Yeah, I guess you can. So the theme of today's meditation is going to be centered around the third step of the 12 steps. And the third step is made a decision to turn my life and my will over to the care of God as I understand God. That's a lot to unpack, huh? Let's begin by relaxing our bodies. And since I have a tightness in my back from pulling a muscle earlier today, let's begin in the midsection, right? Between your shoulders and maybe your waist, and just kind of tighten everything up. Squeeze your arms in, pull your shoulders in, and then pull your shoulders back, and just hold that tight for a second. And when you exhale, let it go. And then your lower torso, your lower back, hips, lower front, just pull all that in. Pull your sides in, pull your lower back in, pull your abdominal muscles, your lower abdominal muscles in, and release it on the exhale. And I'm really coming to enjoy that technique. Let's then begin to tighten the glutes. The lowest part, if you're sitting down, it's your muscles you're sitting on. Just tighten up your glutes for a second. The muscles around the tops of your legs, and then let them go. And now the tops of your legs, your thighs, tighten them up. And let them go. Now your lower legs, your calves and your shins. I don't know that you can do them both at the same time. Maybe you can. And then let them go. And the last is to curl up your feet. And then let them go. Now feel about here down, your body's relaxed. Now tighten up your arm muscles. Tighten up your biceps. Let it go. Tighten up your triceps. Let it go. Now let's bring our shoulders up to our ears and tighten them up. Tighten up the muscles of your face, and then let them go. The goal here, for those of you who are not on camera, is to allow your face to be free from expression. You hear the sound of the breeze in the trees without expression. Enjoy settling in, settling down. I don't know if you can hear it. There's some music in the distance, and I realize there's some workers working on one of my neighbor's houses, and they have their music playing, which I think is kind of delightful. So, made a decision to turn our lives and our wills over to the care of God as we understood God. I think that is not a one-time deal. I think it's a daily, sometimes moment-to-moment decision. So as you settle in and let go of your own thoughts, just allow yourself to be free for a moment, free to allow the universe to guide your thoughts. So if you spend the rest of this meditation listening to a voice other than mine, that's great. You know, whatever works for you. This is about, the meditation is for you. So what does it mean to turn our lives and our will over to the care of God? My dear friend Kevin mentioned to me one time that it says the care of God, which means that the innate goodness of God is caring, that it's not just turning it over to a cold, demanding, judgmental God, it's turning it over to the care of God. So I invite you to explore a little further your concept of God until you arrive at a place where you find that God is a caring God, that the universe is aligned in your favor, that the one presence and the one power exists, expresses in, through, and as you for your benefit. So turning our lives and our will over means I'm going to stop running the show. I'm going to stop trying to run the show. I'm going to stop telling God how this needs to be. It doesn't mean not taking responsibility for ourselves. But take another nice deep breath and let go of your responsibilities for a moment. And imagine what it feels like to turn your life over to God in such a way that you still hold your responsibilities close to your heart, but instead of trying to do it all by yourself, you've got help. I've heard it described that God is an acronym for good earthly direction. And I've talked before about God being the flow of the universe. So what this means is I'm going to stop fighting. I'm going to stop trying to live up to other people's expectations. I'm going to stop feeling like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. I'm going to stop beating myself up. I'm going to let go. Imagine, letting go means I'm holding things very tightly, and when I let them go, my hands are open, and I can receive all of the blessings that have always been mine. Receive the goodness of the universe. Receive the wonder of the universe. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, let go and let God. And God, the universe, universal life force, infinite spirit, the one presence, the one power, is always there. At the same time, we've been given free will so that we can choose whether we are going to allow ourselves to tap into this energy, to tune into this energy. So turning our lives and our will over to the care of God means I'm going to access this energy. I'm going to make myself available to this energy, and I'm going to allow this energy to flow in, through, and as me. Meaning, I'm going to stop fighting it. I'm going to stop resisting the infinite flow and go with it. I'm going to trust the care of God as we understand God. I highly encourage you to think about how you understand the universal life force. So let's have a moment of silence to just tune in to our own understanding of God, of the universe, of infinite spirit. And let's think about the five senses as it relates to the universal life force. So I don't know if during our brief moments of silence you heard the wind rustling through the trees, but I feel like when I hear the wind, when I hear any kind of weather, it's kind of a way of hearing God. I hear God through the voices of others, through the giggles of my grandchildren and my children, the voices of the people that I care about, even the voices sometimes of people on media, on TV or radio. Maybe you hear it in the sound of Daisy whining over there. Here I am. I think she lost me. I'm sitting right here in the backyard. I think she lost me. I know you wanted to be in the video, yes. So let's think about where we see God. Yeah. Yeah. I can't help but see God in animals. Yes, thank you. Okay, now we're finished. Good girl. Good girl. To see God in the beauty of nature, to see God in people's faces, to see God in things working out well, to see God in unanswered prayer. Sometimes the best answers to prayer are not the ones that we ask for. I can think of some former relationships that I would have liked to have worked out, and now I can see that that would not have been what was best for me. So I'm grateful for the universe guiding me. I sometimes get the sense of letting go as being in a canoe on a gentle river and allowing the current to take you. You can paddle like crazy against the current. It's hard and you don't get very far. But when you let go and you allow the current to take you, the current goes where the water flows easiest. That's a great metaphor. God will take us where it's easiest for us to go. Life doesn't have to be hard. I think the two senses that we think about in general the most are sight and sound, or hearing and seeing. So let's think about taste and what your favorite flavors are. I'll let you in on a little secret that's not a secret. Probably my favorite flavor ever is chocolate. Think about whatever your favorite flavor can be. And you can find God there. You can find God in the most juicy orange wedge, or whatever it is that you like to eat or drink. I like my iced coffee. And so imagine then the sense of, we call it touch, but I feel like it's as much about a sense of feeling rather than just what it feels to touch things. Although that's helpful, and when I petted Daisy and her soft fur, her soft ears, but also that feeling, that emotional sense of well-being. I was able to be in a gathering today with some friends, and I could sense that something that I said brought someone else comfort, and it was such a great feeling to know that I listened to that inner voice and said what I was led to say, and it brought someone comfort. What a great feeling is that, to bring anyone comfort. Oh, and then the other sense of smell. If you don't have something that smells good around you or around your house, I encourage you when this meditation is over to go find something that smells good and inhale it. All of our five senses, other than allowing us to navigate through this world, also allow us to experience the infinite, to experience God, to experience joy. And the guides are telling me one last thing about will. It says to turn my will over to the care of God. And we often think about having to almost like be led around like a dog or something, a dog on a leash, when we turn over our will. But I get more of a sense of turning over our self-will run riot. That instead of being willful, being determined and bullheaded, that when we turn our will over to the care of God, we allow ourselves to feel more a sense of possibility, to feel more a sense of the divine in moving in, through, and as us, rather than this ego will. So when I hear turning our will over, I feel like it's more turning our ego over. The ego is a very important survival part of our personalities, and yet once we reach a certain age, we find that releasing our ego and allowing the infinite to express more fully yields us better results. Take a deep breath and know that the infinite presence is moving in, through, and as you. One last quick little exercise. In the next inhale, imagine the nucleus of every one of your cells lighting up with the knowledge that what is present in the nucleus of your cells, your truest essence, is the divine. So take a deep breath and imagine every cell in your body and your energy field lighting up with God, with the divine, with potential, with pure potential, with enchantment. And I thank you for joining me. I wish you a wonderful week, and next week we'll meet again. I will show up. Maybe I'll have an introduction by Lacey. Oh, there's bees out. Who would think there'd be bees in February? I'm happy that there are, though. So the God, the infinite in me, honors and recognizes the infinite in you and sends you much love. Namaste.